Hello everybody, this is Noisecontrollers and welcome to a brand new episode of Artofcreation TV. I want to take this opportunity to give you a little bit more insight in how I'm experiencing the lockdown. As you know, I've been quite low profile the last half year actually. And the reason for that is obviously the virus. I took the whole situation to take a sabbatical. I didn't produce much music. Actually, I have no releases last 6 months. There was obviously no performing anymore and there were no events. So that was all shut down. And I took it to my advantage, the whole situation. Obviously it's a horrible situation, but after 15 years of traveling, like almost every weekend, spending so much hours in the studio, you have to understand it's like every week I was like obsessed with making music. So I took it the time to take some time off, relaxing a little bit, and actually I enjoyed it a lot, to have some distance from the whole scene, music production, and yeah, I'm using the whole situation to recharge myself. Nevertheless, I want to make new music, so I'm finding out in what way I will do that, how it will sound, because without a scene, without parties, it's very difficult. But yeah, I hope I have given you a little bit more insight in how I experienced the whole lockdown. And I also want to take this opportunity to answer some questions of fans, people who sent a video and wanted to ask me a question. And I also want to show you a little bit how my little dog, well, she's not that little anymore, Daisy is doing. So yeah, enjoy.
Hey boss, my question is, which was the most difficult moment when you entered Hardstyle, like when you began? And because some producers right now are really have struggles to enter the scene. But I want to know which are the difficult things that you faced back in the day?
I really like this question, very good question, because sometimes I look around me and see new upcoming producers or DJs performance develop. And sometimes I think like that's super difficult for them, because nowadays there's so much marketing involved, having a good act on stage, how you profile yourself online. And back in the days there wasn't even Facebook. There was like no Instagram. So it was for producers way more easy, I think, to expose yourself or to let yourself heard, literally heard, because you didn't have to show yourself too much online. But the key thing was to have good music. And to answer your question, what was most difficult? That was simply to compete with great producers back then, like Donkey Rollers, who I admired and admire still so much, but also other upcoming producers, Headhunterz, Wildstylez, all the names who since then became big names. Because of their great music, your music also was lifted up to a higher level. Same time, that was also obviously the most difficult thing, make good music and show you are the best in the studio, and that was most difficult thing.
Hey there boss, I was always wondering if you are still friends with Arjan, if you are in touch about his music, about your music, and yeah, that's basically it. So take care and hopefully see you soon.
Hey man, hopefully see you soon as well, because I miss playing and all the events and partying. But to answer your question, no, I never speak to Arjan again. That sounds very bitter, or like there has been some fight or something. That's absolutely not the case. The reason is, and I actually can empathize with that now during the corona crisis, when you suddenly have switched your life to a totally other direction, sometimes it's difficult or not easy to stay attached to the old life. Sometimes you need a new start. For example, right now I have my sabbatical and I totally enjoy for a while not making music, have some time off, and then you can be like a little bit still in it. So I think for Arjan that was the same. He started a totally new life. It was an extreme big change for him. So it's easier or better or very understandable that you also break all ties. There was no fight. I still think about Arjan obviously a lot, because we traveled and partied so much, and I'm really sure that we in the future will see each other again and have great memories and talk about all the memories we have.
Hey Bas, I am Patricia and here's my question. Was it difficult for you to create all around, as it was the first album that you released without Arjan? that's Orlo from Spain.
Nice question. Yes, it was very difficult for me when Arjan left because I was a lot afraid that people would dislike my music because something maybe changed, or they would suspect that my music sounded suddenly different. But actually I produced for a long time already all the music for Noisecontrollers, so I was very convinced about myself, but I still felt like I had to prove it. So first thing I did was producing an album, which I released in 2014, which was called All Around, with songs like Down Down, Static, Wake Up. Just check it out if you haven't heard it yet. And I was like, okay, as you can see, my music didn't change, it's still the same for me, so I hope everybody enjoys it just as much. And actually I had one of the most successful years in 2014. That was not because Arjan left, but it was because I was convinced about it. I worked hard to make an album, and yeah, things went great, luckily for me.
Hey NC, big fan this side. First of all, let me take a moment to thank you for being an inspiration and a role model for me and countless other people. So my question to you is, at what point in life did you decide to become a full-time music producer? As in, was it during some job that you were not enjoying and you thought that like music is something that I want to do forever? Or did you have this in your mind since childhood? Thank you and have a good day.
First of all, thank you for the big compliment at the start of your question. That's exactly why I love making music, and that's motivating me a lot to go back into the studio. Right now, because there are no parties, sometimes releasing feels like only you have an update about how many streams you have on Spotify. That's not why I'm making music. For me, being a role model in this case, that's like exactly the motivation I like to make music. So big compliment there. Considering your question, when was the moment? Back in the days I was following an education to become a teacher, high school teacher actually. And although I loved that job a lot, I always had this dream to become a professional producer, in a way that having an official release. And I just made up my mind in one moment when I was driving to my work. I decided like, fuck it, I'm going to become a professional producer. And I put action to my thoughts. And the same day I borrowed money, bought my first studio gear, and yeah, the rest you probably know.
Hey Noisecontrollers, my question would be, what is your opinion of dubstyle, since you were also exploring it with your Pablo alias? And do you think it could start making a comeback, since there is a lot of experimenting going on in the scene nowadays anyway?
That's actually a very good question, because I made a lot of dubstyle, as that's how it was pronounced or called back in the days. I think that was 2010, so that's 10 years ago actually. I think the dance scene is more, electronic dance scene is more used to a straight beat. That's why I think dubstyle didn't become that big or mainstream, which is totally fine by the way, because if people enjoy it, it doesn't have to be mainstream at all. But when you listen to it, for example, in a car, I don't see why it needs a straight beat. Maybe dubstyle could be very interesting nowadays. Now you don't have events, so good question.
Hey Noisy, what's up? What do you think was your best song you've ever made?
Yo, what's up? I've answered this question many times actually. It must have been Down Down or Spirit of Hardstyle. But on the other hand, sometimes I listen to other tracks I've produced, like This Is Eternity or my last release. I can't believe that it was my last release. People Are Awesome.
Hey boss, my name is Jared Adams out of California, and regarding your very intricate writing with Wildstylez on one, Cats, Jets and Breaks, and two, 200 Dreams, I mean, what is the collaboration and ideas that cross between you two, and what is that like as such develop melody writers in the hard dance, genre?
Hey Jared, it's so nice to see you're from California. Right now this is recorded one day before your election. And all I want to say is I miss the States so much. I always had great feelings there. I got my working visa, but it's shut down, so I can't go there, but I really miss the States. That I've said, as far as come to Wildstylez, I just think he's an amazing producer. And beside that, if someone is an amazing producer, obviously it's very easy to have nice tracks with that person. But at the same time, you have to understand, I know Joram for a very, very long time. We had our studios right next to each other, which made it easy to collab, but it's also made it easy to go after for a drink, have a good time. So when you're very used to each other and you're a very good producer, the chemistry is so easy there. Let's stay positive, because this whole virus will go away, obviously. There will be parties again, and there will be releases of me again, obviously. Right now I'm working in the studio again, having some new ideas, and hope to show and let you hear it very fast, very soon. I will keep updating you about Daisy and my other animals, and let's hope 2021 will be a great and much better year than this year, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Goed je niet springen?
Oh, in het begin springen, jongen.
Hallo, hallo.
Hallo.
Hé, ze springt niet.
Nou, vlek in de trui.
Weet je? Ga zitten. Goed, vallen. Even een momentje voor zichzelf.
Ja.
Ja, klaar? Goed zo.